Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Renee and hope you're having a very blessed day today. Today we are going to be working in Psalm 29 as well as 30. They both kind of go together. The verses that I'm going to be really focusing on is Psalm 29 verse 1 through 2. It says, "Ascribe to the Lord, you heavenly beings, ascribe to the Lord glory and strength. Ascribe to the Lord the glory due to his name. Worship the Lord in the splendor of his holiness." So this is all about worshiping the Lord. And I love Psalm 29 because it talks about how everything about the voice of the Lord. I mean, it's so cool. I was trying to figure out a way I can portray his voice in some way, but I saw a page that talked about worship and praise and music and glory. So I took their idea and I'm gonna, spin it and kind of make it my own as usual. So verses 1 through 2 talk about worshiping. Psalm 30 talks about joy in the morning, and verses 11 through 12 are the ones I'm going to focus, the verses I'm going to focus on in this psalm. It says, "You turned my lament into dancing, you removed my sackcloth and clothed me with gladness so that I can sing to you and not be silent. Lord my God, I will praise you forever." And again, we talked about a previous psalm talking about not being silent, about all the things that the Lord has done for you. And I find this, it's kind of, appropriate for the society we're living in right now, is how we can't be silent for our love for the Lord. So we need to display that for all to see. And so I'm taking, Psalm 29 and Psalm 30, kind of, it was all on the same page, and it all is talking about worship and praising the Lord and all that. So we're going to do like a worship page today. And like I said, I saw a page done by somebody previously, and it kind of stuck in my mind. And so I'm going to kind of take their idea a little bit and again, turn it into my own like I always do. So the first thing, let me move this because I'm going to need some room to work here. Okay, so I have this gorgeous paper that I got from Michael's. It's rainbow inks. Y'all, look at these like gorgeous, gorgeous colors in this thing. So I just grabbed a few sheets out of this. I was gonna do my own watercolor page, which you can if you don't have this paper. Just get some, plain white paper and watercolor it. But I just figured I'd use these watercolors, and I'm gonna cut. And I cut out last night while I was watching TV, because it would be very boring for y'all to watch me cut out a whole bunch of these. I cut these honeycomb pieces out, all different sizes. So I've got small ones, I've got large ones, and I just cut them out from the various colors in this paper because I wanted a variety of colors. So try to figure out where I was putting these. I was kind of like laying things out to see how I would want them. So what I used, I did the old-fashioned way. If you have a die cut machine or something, that would be much easier. But I had this little chipboard piece and this little chipboard piece. So all I did was do it the old-fashioned way, put them down, traced them, cut them out. So I just did this while I was watching TV the other night because I, figured it would be very boring for y'all to watch me draw and cut and draw and cut. It took me about a half hour, but it was just nice and relaxing while I watched TV. So I just cut out a variety of different colors, and I love this watercolor paper. So this is kind of the look that I got when I cut these out. So again, if you don't have this paper, you could make your own watercolor on a piece of paper, and then cut out the images. So you can make your own. You don't have to have this paper. You don't even have to cut out images, like honeycomb. You don't have to cut out this shape if you don't want. You don't have to have watercolor. You can just cut out construction paper. You can do whatever you want. But I'm just showing you what I did. So if you'd like to follow along, do the same thing, you're more than welcome. Okay, so let me grab a seat here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my little stamp pad, and I am going to stamp some of these words. I was looking through all my stamps and I was trying to find stamps that talked about, rejoicing, praise, music. So I have this one that says rejoice. I have another one that says praise. And then I had some letters. Whoop, the S came off. I have, where did it go? Oh, there it is. I have some letters that I spelled out music with. Just like that, music. And then another one that I spelled out worship with. So if you have like individual letters, I did this ahead of time as well because you don't want to see me placing each little individual letter down. I'm trying to save us time, so, but it's very easy. Just, you know, take your letters out and just spell out whatever words you want. So I figure I am going to stamp a couple of these words on some of these larger hexagrams. Hexagrams, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sextagrams, whatever they are. Hexagrams or hexagons are for 5, right? And the 6 is something else. So these are what, 6-sided, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Gosh, y'all, it's been a long day. Before I stamp these, because I haven't used this one before, I'm gonna prime it and stamp it on a piece of paper first, just to kind of make sure that it'll stamp good before I stamp it on here. And this is a glossier type paper, so we'll see how it works. I'm using, what is this, Versafine black ink. And we'll see how it turns out. Ooh. Cool. Okay, we'll let that dry. Put that to the side. Let me grab a paper towel. Just rinse this off real quick. But yeah, I hope you all are having a blessed day. It's been a morning already. Woke up to a flat tire. Had to help my husband before he went to work. Yeah, just one of those days. One of those days when things just, every time you think you're getting ahead of time, schedule, time-wise, something happens. Ooh, that's cute. Okay, let's see. Let's put that one on this little shape right here. And I don't have one of those stamper, you know, those fold down machines, or, you know, those little stamp pads. I just, again, I do everything, almost everything the old fashioned way. It's just, you know, I've been doing it this way for so long, I just kind of am used to it. So I like doing it. I like all the hands-on stuff. I like, you know, I guess I like taking my time and doing it the old-fashioned way versus just kind of mass-producing things or something. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, that's just how I've always done it, and so I kind of still do it that way. Okay, let's see. Let's put that right here. So we've got rejoice, praise, music. I'm just putting those to the side so they can dry while we do other things. Wipe that off. Okay. I also have this stamp. Okay, so this, if you have any kind, this is a guitar stamp. It's the only music stamp really that I had. I had a couple stickers, but if you have any kind of, you know, music stamps, praise stamps, anything like that, you can use anything. I just had this guitar, and I'm thinking I'm going to stamp it on this watercolor sheet, and I'm going to cut it out. So I'm going to stamp it in black on that watercolor sheet. So let me prime this stamp and get it. I haven't used it yet, so let's see how it... I always do this for stamps that I have not used yet, see, because you need to kind of get them, I guess, primed, or I don't know what the word is for it, but especially for brand new stamps, you want to make sure that they're getting the ink everywhere they need to get, and so you'll get a clear stamp. See, I'm still not, it's getting better, but still not quite there. So I'm gonna do it a couple more times. So this is just a little tip for those of you who are like, well, I can't get my stamps to get, you know, get clear or get sharp. Usually I'll prime them a few times. It also depends on how you're pressing as well. You want like a, you want a firm, you know, a firm surface to be. Okay. Still having some issues. Let's see. Okay, well, let me rub this and we'll try it. We'll see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna try to get as much ink on this as I can. That, bring this over. Okay, cross your fingers. Let's see what happens. Oh, look at that. I think because this paper is a little bit glossier, it's got a smoother surface to it, it picked up the ink a little bit better. But who knows? Who knows? It worked. That's all I care about. It worked. Woohoo. Okay, so we'll let this sit and dry a little because you can see the ink's a little bit wet. I'm going to let that dry a little to the side. Okay, so in the meantime, I need to prime this little stamp as well. Now this was just a rubber stamp. I think it says It's Amazing Grace, How Sweet the Sound. So it's another little music stamp I had. And I don't want this one to be super clear anyways. I'm not even gonna put it on an ink pad. I'm just gonna grab it with my fingers like that, ink some spots up and press. And then you're gonna get kind of like a faded, you know, stamp. It'll be clear in some areas and faded in other areas. And that's exactly what I want. So that should work great. So let me move this out of the way. I'm gonna grab my Bible, and I have it opened fully like this because my Bible's getting so thick that it's harder now to flip it around and have all of this underneath this page. So I'm trying to give myself some room here. So hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing. Let me move the camera a tad so y'all can see the full page. Okay, so I am going to take this stamping pad and just kind of ink a few places up, and I'm just gonna press down like that in just different areas, because a lot of it's probably going to get covered up anyways with my little shapes, but I still wanted some of the music to be showing like this. So can you see we've got some little faded stamps throughout, and let me just do a little bit up there. Okay, so let me wipe that down so we don't make a mess. Wipe this off a little bit. I always just spray them with water, kind of wipe them off, and then when I'm done, I'll go with soap and water and just kind of wash them off. Okay, so we'll let that dry. In the meantime, while that is drying, I am going to take out my embossing powder. This is Superfine Detail Silver by Ranger. This is embossing powder. Again, if you don't have embossing powder, no problem. I just wanted to add a little bit more, I guess, to my my little shapes. And let me grab my my Versamark ink, which I forgot to grab. So I got my Versamark watermark stamp pad. And I'm not going to do all the shapes. I'm just going to do just a few of them. I'm going to do the praise one. So I'm just going to take the edges, and if any of you have been following me for a while, you know I've done this before. So you just kind of press the edges into your ink pad, and you can't see it, it's clear. And then you're going to take your embossing powder and put your embossing powder around the edges like that. And then you can just rub off any areas that you don't want embossing powder. And then grab your heating tool. I'm going to grab, I'm going to grab my little pliers as well, my little clips, just to hold this so I don't burn my fingers. And then grab your heating tool and start heating it up. And as you can see, it start to change. I don't know if you can see that on camera. So cool. Oh, a little bit more, hang on. This part did not get heat. So cool. Okay, so what ended up happening, if you all can see, the embossing powder stuck to some of the parts of the ink that still weren't dry, the black ink, which is actually pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that. So you can see how the silver, it looks all dull down here, but then once it heats up, it gets really shiny. So that's so cool. I love that. It's another happy accident. Things happen that you aren't expecting. So I'm gonna do that one. Let's do just a couple. We'll do a few more. So I'm gonna ink all these up and we'll get the embossing powder on them. And then I'll just do them all at once. So we've got that one. I'm just doing random shapes. And they don't have to have the embossing powder around the whole edge or not. I mean, it's up to you. Let's see. And then, like I said before, you can shake it off or scrape it off any areas that you don't want. If you don't want it to come in all the way in, if you just want it on the edge. Okay, let's see. Let's do a yellow one. On there. Okay. Okay, let's heat these up. Okay, there's one. Literally is like magic before your eyes. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's so cool. Two. Let's go where there's no. Yeah, come on. Look at that, turns so quickly. Now that the heating tool is heated up, it's looking cool. So cool. Okay, trying to decide if we want to do a few more. Yeah, we need a few more. Let's do a few more. Gotta have more bling. Gotta have more bling on my page. Okay, let's do this one. And let's do another big one. But y'all, I can't believe we are already in September. Where did this summer go? I don't even know. It's craziness. The time is flying by so fast. I feel like we already just celebrated Christmas. And here we are again, already in the fall. Or almost fall. Even though it doesn't feel like fall, really. At least not yet. Temperature-wise, weather-wise. Missed the little spot. Okay, so y'all, can you see that? That's so cool looking. Love it. Just gives it like a whole new look. Okay, so the other thing, okay, this should hopefully be dry or mostly dry. Okay, so here's our stamp. I have these little Fiskars, I think they're Fiskars, or scallop scissors. These are the old-fashioned scissors. And what I'm going to do is just cut this guitar out. And we'll see how it fits on the page. Get that started. There we go. Okay, let's put that to the side. Finish this up. Okay. So there is my picture. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing with the embossing powder along the side of this. So this pops out of from the background, pops off the page a little bit. Trying not to touch the stamp just in case it's still not completely dry. I'm making a mess, aren't I? That's okay. This whole part of the process is making a mess. I'm an expert at that, y'all. I'm an expert at making the messes. Okay. Okay, so let's do this, and then if I want more, I could always add more. so this is what it looks like. I think I want to add a little bit more in spots. So let me ooh, that's kind of cool. That'll look cool. Yeah, I want like some of these areas to be just have a lot more of that silver. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. Ah, burning my fingers. Okay, oh, I like that. I like that a lot better. So see how that, so if you want to add more, you can always go back in once you dry or emboss, the edges, you can always go back in and add more. So I added more here, here, and down here. I like that. So cool, I love that look. Okay, so I think we're done with the embossing. So let me clear all this off, clean this off. Get rid of my hair that seems to end up everywhere. That's what happens when you have long hair. When my son was first born, he would always be grabbing hunks of my hair. He'd grab it with his fists when he was a baby, just grab hunks of my hair. So I used to have hair down to my waist. After he was born, I literally chopped it all off. I chopped it like super, super short. And now I'm almost back, I got hair almost back down to my waist again. It's just been growing. So I just kind of let it just go. I got lazy and just let it keep growing. But it's taken me a while to get this length. My hair takes quite a long time to grow. So, okay. So let's move all of this. Make sure we're in camera so y'all can see. Okay, so all we really have left now is just to start gluing things down. So I am going to just kind of start spacing a few things. I put some here on my table just to kind of see how maybe they could fit together. And now I just need to put them on in my book, and we'll see how it goes. So this is kind of what I wanted, with like the music to kind of be sticking out from behind these little shapes. Okay, I think I'm just gonna start gluing as I go, because otherwise this paper will start just messing. It'll start moving everything around. It's just easier to glue it. So yes, I did prep my page with a thin layer of gesso beforehand, only because I was going to be using stamps and I wasn't sure if they were going to go through or not. So when I'm not sure, I just figure it's just easier to just prep it and get it situated and ready to go. So if you want to prep your page beforehand, you don't have to. I found that it saves me a lot of trouble in the long run, because sometimes I'll have something on the other side that maybe is water activated or something, and if I'm doing something on this side of the page, it might activate something that I have on the other side. So this page I had nothing there, so that really wasn't an issue. But it just gets, I get in that habit of just prepping pages if I know I'm going to be stamping or using inks or something. But if I would just be gluing and not using any stamping, I wouldn't have had to prep my page. So let's see here. Whoop. Can y'all see what I'm doing? So I'm just gonna space these out and see. I don't want to cover my words because I'm gonna highlight the verses. So do you want something like that? I want some of this music to show. Yeah. So yeah, now it's just making a design up with your shapes and gluing. This is when I'll usually have my music on. I've got Amazing Grace kind of going on in my head because that's the music we used down here. Well, I can see the verses right there, so it's kind of cool. Or do we want that right there? Maybe right there. I love this silver embossing. It gives it just like a whole different look, which is pretty neat. I'll cut off this extra piece, the extra pieces. Okay, let's see. Oh boy, we've got a whole bunch for this side, so let's see what we can. Got this big one. I want these to kind of fit together. Music, rejoice, and praise. Okay, I just need to start gluing because it keeps moving my pieces around. I think I hear my husband coming in. It's early. Okay. So I'm just gluing this in. Yeah, see the ink's still a little wet, so you gotta be careful if you're using like a glossier paper. The ink takes a little while to dry. So I'm trying not to touch the ink, as well as trying to glue up the, oh, there we go, just put it, put some on my page, but I'll cover that anyways. Yeah, this will have to sit out and dry for a little bit. Oh, let's see. So right now it's just kind of like putting puzzle pieces together. But that's a neat thing about these little shapes. They can all kind of fit together in some kind of form. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna start the bottom too. I want a big one at the bottom. So yeah, just a lot of glue in. I'm just using my glue stick for this part. You don't need super strong glue for this, unless you want to. Let's see. Where do we want this? There's no rhyme or reason. I'm just sticking pieces. I'm trying to think how we can get these to nestle in better. There we go. That might work better. Okay, just a couple more left. There's a green one. Do we want a green there? I'm gonna have it sticking off the side like that. I'll cut that piece off. And then I have this piece too, so might as well put that one there. Use the last one I have. Right there. Okay, so let me grab my scissors. And I'm just going to cut off the ones overhanging the sheet, the Bible page. Just cut those off. Okay, and toss those. And oh, gotta cut off a little bit of silver. Oh man. Some of my bling had to get cut off. Okay, so there we go with that. So cool, I love it. Love it. Okay, so then we have our, ooh, that just, woo. Or we could put that over here too. So then, because I don't want to cover up all of that. That covers quite a bit. What I might do is just kind of put it over here. Yeah, I'm gonna probably do that. Okay, so I'm gonna glue this one over here. I gotta be careful, this stamp is still a little wet as well. So I'm just putting glue on it over to the side. Okay, let's see, where did we want it? Like right about there. Okay, now the last thing I had was, where is it? This worship word. And now I'm thinking this actually works out better because I was debating whether to put this on, but now I can maybe grab some more of this paper, stamp that, and then put that across the bottom or along the side here. So let's see how that looks. Okay, so I'm gonna move this and grab my Versafine and my extra piece of paper to prime this stamp. So let's see how this will work and look. Okay. Okay, so let's grab this piece of paper. And let's put it on here. Okay. And then where'd my scissors go? We're just gonna do the same thing. Cut this out. Try not to touch a stamp because it's still wet. And actually, now that I'm looking at this, we might want to emboss these sides up. Should we? Should we emboss those up? I think we might have to. Let's see. So let me move this here, back here. Let's see what this looks like. So here's our stamp on our paper. We could either just put it down here or put it up along the side here, or even there. What to do? This is starting to come up. Stick it down. Or I could even go like on an angle like that. But I'm thinking it needs some, yep, it needs something, y'all. We need to emboss this thing up. So let's just grab our, so I lied. We aren't done with our embossing. Sorry, y'all. We're doing this on the fly. My mind is always changing halfway through the what I had planned. That always happens to me. But you know, that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it interesting. I had an image in my head and it never turns out. It might be a little close, but so far I don't think it's ever really panned out the exact image I had in my head of, you know, the image that I get in my Bible. But that's okay. That makes the whole thing exciting because you never know what you're gonna get. You never know. Okay, some of it is going on the stamp as well. So I'm gonna have some black and silver on the stamp, which is gonna be cool too. So let me grab my little clippers and then let's blow dry this or heat it up and blow dry it. Not a blow dryer, it's a heating tool. Yep. Look at that. Since the ink was still wet, a lot of the silver stuck to the stamp as well. So you got black showing through the silver stamp as well. That's pretty cool. So there we go with that. So let's put that to the side, let that finish cooling off a little bit. Clean this up. To the side. I'm gonna put the top on here because again, y'all know, I'm surprised I haven't done a major spill with one of these. Not yet. There's always a first time. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm gonna do this on an angle like that. So I might need a little bit heavier duty glue because it looks like the glue stick is not keeping this down. So this is when your heavier duty glue comes in good use. There we go. And I'm gonna do the same on this. So this is my 3-in-1 beacon glue. I got it off Amazon. I put them in these Sugar Bell, Sweet Sugar Bell. I think they're icing bottles. Super easy to squeeze. I've had a lot of questions on those. Though that I got on Amazon as well. It comes in a package of, I think, 2 or 3 of these. I think it's 2 of these containers. Super easy to keep clean and keep clean. Super easy to squeeze. So I just transfer my glue from my 3-in-1 into this little bottle. Okay. And there you have it. So here is our finished page. I'm just gonna probably date it. You could put a tab at the top if you want. But we've got music, praise, rejoice, worship, and then our guitar. I'm sure they, you know, I know they didn't have guitars back in the day, especially electric guitars, but, you know, this is our worship for today. And I love the music peeping out, the little music stamps peeping out from the back. So there you go. Hope you all enjoyed it. Have fun trying new things. If you haven't ever tried embossing powder, you know, you might want to try it. It just gives it a really cool, different look. There's all different colors of embossing powders you can get from the rainbow, and you can get metallic colors as well as, you know, pastel colors or things like that. So if you haven't played around with something like that, you know, try it. if you haven't played around with stamps, maybe try that instead. Or, decorative cutting out things. And I don't know, just if there's something that you haven't tried, just try it. You never know, you might like it. So anyways, thanks you all for joining me. Hope you all have a very blessed day and continue to worship and praise the Lord. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.